brought to you by...
We live in an age where the concept of vigilante justice is becoming all the more likely in the state of things. When the law is such a complex maze of hoops and red tape to navigate, there will always be those who make the choice to take the law into their own hands and enact justice upon those who tend to elude the impact of its hammer. But for those of us who can't, we have the revenge subgenre. Based on the graphic novel by Alan Moore, V for Vendetta takes place in an alternate version of Britain, in which the corrupt and abusive totalitarian government has risen to complete power. During a threatening run-in with the secret police, an unassuming young woman named Evie is rescued by a vigilante named V, a caped figure both articulate and skilled in combat. V embodies the principles of rebellion from an authoritarian state, donning a mask of vilified would-be terrorist of British history, Guy Fawkes, and leading a revolutionary spark by assassinations and destruction. Evie becomes his unlikely ally, newly aware to the cruelty of her own society and her role in it. While more of a story of rebellion in the way of Star Wars, the character of V stands as a true embodiment of the vigilante code, and is in my opinion one that will remain in my mind. Number 9 features Pam Grier, who becomes a symbol of female empowerment in coffee. After her sister becomes a heroin addict, a nurse takes up the gun and goes undercover to track down the dealers responsible for her sister's condition. To this day, Grier inspires women with her strength and attitude throughout this performance, and carved a name for herself in film history. Jodie Foster is an actress that I never expected to take up the reins of vigilante justice, even after getting her start in Taxi Driver as a young talent. She portrays Erica Bain, who has a life that she loves and a fiancé she adores. All of it is taken away from her when a brutal attack leaves Erica badly wounded and her fiancé dead. Unable to move past the tragedy, Erica begins prowling the streets at night to track down the men that she holds responsible. Like with most of the roles she takes on, Foster delivers a captivating performance throughout this film, making the concept of vigilante justice easily relatable to anyone. Whoever knew Michael Caine could be such a cold and calculating badass? In Harry Brown, he stars as an elderly shut-in who's spurred to action by a senseless act of violence. Caine delivers a brutal performance throughout this film, showing us a side that I can honestly say that I have not seen from the actor before, and creating an emotionally charged vision of vigilante justice that earns its place alongside its predecessors. Magnum Force comes as the second film in the Dirty Harry series and lands number 6 on our list. In this film, notorious area criminals are being killed by vigilantes. Detective Dirty Harry Callahan discovers that the killings have been committed by a .357 Magnum and suspects that his partner is responsible. It's a film that places us on the other side of the line, with our lead character pursuing this suspected vigilante. In Wonder Boy, a young boy witnesses a brutal murder of his mother during a Brooklyn carjacking. Now a 17-year-old loner, Sean Donovan is relentlessly haunted by his past and obsessed with finding his mother's killer. Drawn into a nocturnal, urban world, Sean's consuming rage is vented one night, defending himself from a chaotic attack by a drug dealer. Thus begins his life as a quiet, straight-A student by day and a self-appointed hero at night. While not the most well-known of the revenge subgenre, this one certainly packs a punch and delivers a captivating tale with powerful performances. In The Equalizer, Denzel Washington plays McCall, a man who believes he has put his mysterious past behind him and dedicated himself to beginning a new, quiet life. But when McCall meets Terry, a young girl under the control of an ultra-violent Russian gangster, he can't stand idly by. He has to help her. While a fairly tame and by-the-book action film, Denzel creates a fun and brutal character here that holds its own in the subgenre. In the third film from Saw and The Conjuring creator James Wan, Kevin Bacon stars as Nick Hume, a mild-mannered executive with a perfect life, until one gruesome night he witnesses something that changes him forever. Transformed by grief, Hume eventually comes to the disturbing conclusion that no length is too great when protecting his family. This one falls as one of the most vicious and emotional revenge stories that I have seen to date, taking its time to tug at your heartstrings and satisfy your need for violence. Coming straight out of the early days of Marvel's entry into the cinematic landscape, Thomas Jane takes up the role of the Punisher, a man inflamed by the death of his family. Castle, to his everlasting torment, survives, and now views the world as one darkened by war, crime, cruelty, and injustice. He has no superpowers to battle the evils that he sees, only his fierce intelligence, his years of combat experience, and above all, his iron determination to avenge those wronged by society's villains. Still to this day, this is one of my personal favorite Marvel adaptations, featuring one of Thomas Jane's best performances that hits all the emotional beats as well as delivering a high-octane action experience. Possibly the most infamous revenge story in cinema, our number one slot is taken by 1974's Death Wish, in which Charles Bronson plays Paul Kersey, a bleeding heart liberal who has a change of opinion after his wife and daughter are violently attacked by a gang of thugs in their apartment. His daughter is sexually assaulted and his wife is murdered. Bronson then turns vigilante as he stalks the mean streets of New York on a prowl for muggers, hoodlums, and those alike. Following this film, Bronson became the poster boy for standing up for what's right, and however illegal his actions may have been, has inspired many since the film's release. But that's all for today, friends. Be sure to tune in next month for another Top 10 Tuesday. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. If you want to show your support, please check us out on Patreon or Tippy, where for as little as $1 a month, you can open up the doors to a wide range of rewards and help us keep fresh content coming your way. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts down below. Were there any examples of vigilante justice that just missed our list? Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.